Mountain, Island, Lightning Bolt, Spell Pierce, Switchblade, Stab Wound, Red Mage, Blue Mage.
Fuck you! I hate you!
Did you do it?
I recorded, you son of a bitch!
Me too.
Fucking asshole.
It's recording time.
Wait, I gotta make sure I got these in the right number order, otherwise it's going to be a sad time. I'm not gonna know how to do a top 3 list again.
Oof.
Ooh, this is number
Dark
2.
times. You did number 2 first?
Fuck you! I'm getting things in order. I got them in order.
First of all, I see multiple things on your first bullet.
Don't even.
I haven't opened them.
They're equal. They're equal, and they get 3rd place together. Don't. Hi, I'm Amber, and I play red.
Hey, I'm Kenny. I play blue. Let's get into it.
This is red mage, blue mage.
And it's time to...
Already?
Pick a card. Yeah, why not?
Sure, okay.
Pick a card. You son of a bitch. It's pick a card time.
Right.
This was my topic.
Oh, yeah.
And my question is, what are the most bullshit magic cards?
So I took this to mean what I feel are the most bullshit magic cards. Like the cards that I'm like, oh, fuck you, when I see it enter the battlefield.
Yeah,
I do not want to deal with this. I hate your fucking guts.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the reaction you get deep inside of you when it happens.
Yep.
When you see them.
Yep, I had very similar. For me, it was the cards that I see, and I'm just like, this isn't fair, what's happening right now. That was my biggest thing.
Gotcha.
If a card feels unfair, that's what made it on my list.
See,
so maybe we might have slightly different things then.
Because I think that, like, a lot of things can be fair, but that doesn't mean them not bullshit when you have to deal with it. So for me, it's more like a hindrance thing that's irritating as fuck. It's such bullshit.
Right.
Okay.
It's fair, it's balanced, but it's like, it sucks the fun out of a game.
Yes.
Gotcha. For you.
For me, that's what I did. Because, like, I don't really have that much of magic knowledge. I can't tell you.
Number 3, counterspell.
Fuck
Number
off.
2,
no,
mana leak.
Can you
Number
not
1.
interrupt me when I'm talking? God, I was going to tell you something important, but I guess it doesn't fucking matter. Let's just do our top three lists. Let's go.
I speak my mind, I get what I want.
Okay, so what I was going to say was that I just don't have that, like, in-depth knowledge to be like, oh, that's a broken card, and that's bullshit, or that's way too OP.
Sure.
I let, not you, other minds tell me that shit on list that I...
We all heard it.
No!
Fans, both of you, you heard what she almost said. Let's remember back to episode 1, where Amber said that blue cards are great.
And this is when you enter the thing.
I dropped the clip in.
Yes.
Blue is great. Blue is great.
Fuck off. So I put 2 cards on for my number 3. Because
Shaking
to me, they are equally shitty or bullshitty. Like something that happens to me when I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this. So I've been playing a lot of Magic with Brandon, and he's been building a standard Undergrowth deck right now. Mm-hmm. And
Golgari bullshit.
Yes. And it's fun for him and interesting for me. And so there's this one card he had. I'm not sure if it's still in this. No, it's still in there because I dealt with it earlier this week.
Trounced it.
No, I hate it. It's a creature. It is the Ravenous Chupacabra. It's a 2 colorless, 2 swamp, and 2 black, and basically when it enters the battlefield, you can destroy target creature an opponent controls, and it's a 2 fucking 2. So it's just like every time, and he has a full play set, so every time it's like, okay, well, I guess I'm not doing that. Okay, I guess I'm not playing with that creature. There goes my Krenko. There goes this. There goes that. It doesn't really fucking matter. So to me, the Chupacabra is awful. To me.
Yeah.
Great for other people. Which makes it a good card, in my opinion. Just bullshit to deal with.
I think, actually, like, you were just saying that you don't really have the knowledge to know when something is OP. I think this falls into that category. I don't know that it's overpowered.
I mean, it's 4 mana, so...
When they first printed it, I remember people really throwing a fit over this card because it's similar to other cards that we've seen in the past. Like, Necrotol has the same cost. the same size body of a creature, but it said destroy target non-black, non-artifact creature.
Oh, wow.
So it had some constraints on it, and this is just like...
Just anything. Just destroy
anything.
target. Just destroy it. Comes into play.
Yeah.
It's dead. So it's...
kind of nuts.
Yep. Pisses me off every time.
And why would you not have a full play set?
Yeah, exactly.
In a deck
I
that
know.
could play it?
I know. Okay.
Bullshit.
The next one, which is on the same level, is
Which is also number 3.
Which is also number 3, because it's both irritating to me. And it's irritating to me in the sense if you know once you get to know somebody's deck, and you realize it's an undergrowth deck, it's Stitcher's Supplier. It's a 1 black. What?
I'm looking puzzled because this feels like such a different card.
Go
ahead.
It's bullshit to me because when you know that your player, the person you're playing against, is an undergrowth, it immediately is like, this card is shit because... Well, bullshit, because so it's a creature zombie, when Stitcher Supplier enters the battlefield or dies,
So
put the
you get
top
it
3 cards, coming or going, put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. So it's a chump blocker as well. It makes me not want to attack because I know that he's going to also get, or whoever he's using this card is also going to get 3 cards into their graveyard.
Right. Which is, for those kinds of decks, it's like drawing like a card and a half, maybe. That's what this effect does. Mm-hmm. And so it's like you play it, you draw a card and a half. It dies, you get another card and a half.
I mean, it's going right into your graveyard, though. So knowing what an undergrowth deck is supposed to be doing, he has other things that brings in... He can sacrifice a creature and then play things from his graveyard or other shit that's awful. Like, I don't really pay attention because it's not my jam. Mm-hmm. And obviously you just let the rules go to they take care of it. I don't have to know what happens.
Judge.
I don't need a judge. Whatever. You be the judge. You tell me how your deck works.
I'll be
good
the
sportsmanship.
judge,
Oh, fuck off. So for me to see somebody who willingly put Stitcher Supplier into their deck means
they're a bad person.
They're a bad person who is doing some sort of bullshit graveyard playing undergrowth deck that is... And again, a full play set of that, you mill yourself, and you pull out. I can't remember what the card he had that, like, based off of how many fucking creatures are in his graveyard, he gets X something, and it's ridiculous.
He gets insect
tokens, and then there was something else, and it's just a really irritating card to come across because it's just like, motherfucker's doing something.
Yeah. Speaking of insect tokens, you made some
beautiful
insect tokens.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I did do that.
They were amazing. I really like the idea, though, that you designed these beautiful things so that they could be used to
against me.
Ass.
Yeah, because I literally gave it as a present and literally turned around and there was like all 9 of them were out on the battlefield. I was like, no. But I also get to feel the token hurt because I'm also a token person as well.
Mm-hmm. Token all the time.
Token. 420 plays it. Okay, so those are my 2 number 3s.
You're such a cheat. Okay, so
I'm
one question before we move on.
Yes.
What do these cards have to do with each? Why do they share the spot? I don't understand.
What do you mean?
They're so different from each other. Why are they both number 3? You just wanted to sneak another one into your list?
They're both irritating to me.
That's all the cards on this list. They're bullshit cards.
But they're the same level of irritation.
Just like pure, like, looking at how mad you get when you play.
Yes.
They just hit the same threshold.
Because it's like, one is, okay, you're destroying my creature, that's fine. And that's bullshit. I hate it with the Chupacabra. And then Stitcher Supplier to me is like, okay, I'm upset because you're doing something that's good for you.
And that's bullshit.
And so it's like the same level. Like if we're gonna like look at like a thermometer of hot anger, it's like,
this is the yellow level.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that.
Fair enough, I guess.
And I probably also because I've seen them at the same time in the same deck.
I was gonna say, I think that's really what it is. These are it's like recency bias.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You got beat by both these cards 2 days ago,
I got
and you're
beat
like,
so bad.
So these are going on my list. And fuck you for playing them.
How dare you?
All right. So My number 3 is a card that I've mentioned before, and I've definitely mentioned to you before.
Okay.
And it falls into a category.
Sorry.
Several of my cards fall into this category of your opponent just always seems to have them on turn 1.
Right.
And it's so infuriating.
Yep.
So my number 3 pick is Goblin Guide. the ultimate red 1-drop, turn 1 play. This is a goblin that's as big as a grizzly bear, for God's sakes. So it's 1 red mana for a goblin scout. I don't know do you do this whenever there's a creature that has goblin and another creature type? In my head, it's a gobbling whatever. So it's a goblin scout.
No, that's just you.
Okay. Thank you for the reassurance.
He's
a
only
2/2.
you.
He has haste. And he has a drawback. Whenever a Goblin Guide attacks, defending player reveals the top card of his library, his or her library. If it's a land card, that player puts it into his or her hand.
Okay.
It's a drawback, but as the red player, you don't really care about that because you're not going to win through card advantage. You're just going to smash them.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fair amount of mana to pay, the base rate of pay is 1 mana buys you 1/1 power and toughness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 2 mana buys you 2/2 power and toughness.
Right.
So this is 1 mana for a 2/2. So already super good.
Yep.
On the rate, twice as good as you should expect.
Yep.
And haste. So it's like it's 2 turns ahead of where the clock should be when you play it. And it's just so little effort. Like 1 mana, 2/2 haste with a drawback, quote unquote, that isn't a drawback. It's like if you had to pay life for it or something. As the red player, you're just like,
whatever. Who gives a fuck about life? Yeah.
And the red player always has it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm specifically like, I didn't play standard when this was legal.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't play in modern where this is a big thing.
Yeah.
I play cube. I have a copy of Goblin Guide in my cube because I want all the colors and strategies to have their most effective versions.
Sure.
I don't have it out for red in my cube.
Yeah.
And I like drafting red in my cube occasionally. But it just feels so bad when your opponent has Goblin Guide because in cube everything is a 1 copy. And somehow they always have it on turn 1 every single time. And it's so table flipping inducingly mad.
Why, Kenny? Why? Because
why should you always have it?
Because I'm special and good and the goblin gods smile upon me.
Why is he so strong?
Because he has the drawback to give you mana advantage eventually.
So to say something nice about this card, I know you said one of the things you love about goblins is their flavor text always has like a fun vignette and it's silly. So his flavor text, he's a guide, he's like pointing in opposite directions and he says, I've been all over this world. I even remember some of those places.
I love it so much. It's so good.
It is good. That's 10 times better writing than the entire Tybalt saga we discussed last time.
Yes, exactly. Man, it takes real skill to write flavor text.
It does. You have to tell a story in such a compact space.
Mm-hmm.
That's Goblin Guide. He's so strong for so cheap, and my opponent always has him. And I just want to scream. Why should they always have them? Anyway, okay, so that's my number 3.
Okay.
Let's go to your number 2.
Okay, so number 2...
which is actually your number whatever.
Whatever, who gives a fuck?
Oh.
What? Is it?
I'm looking at it.
Okay, so you looked at it. Is it Icy Manipulator?
Yes, it is.
Because that's bullshit right there. Fuck that artifact so hard. And it's whatever hole it has that you can fuck it in. Because, like, honestly, it's so irritating. So Icy Manipulator is an artifact. It costs 4. And for 1 and tap, you can tap the target artifact, creature, or land. So just...
Or land.
Or land! What bullshit is that? I hate it so much. And the first time I experienced it was, I think, in a cube draft with you. Mm-hmm. And it's just like...
What is this card?
I just always will never be able to pay... Like, I will always have this one thing. And... because I think it was you who were doing it to a land of mine, I think. And it was just like, oh, great. Fine. I guess I won't play this card or use this thing that I have. Mm-hmm. And of course, I never play anything that allows me to get rid of artifacts, so I was kind of just screwed.
It's part of what makes it so bad. And the fact is, like, in some ways, it's much worse than a removal spell because whatever your best card becomes, this kills your best card.
Well, it doesn't even, because like at least if something goes in the graveyard, I can pull it back out or whatever. But this is just it's out there. It's kind of like the same lines of like orbs of detention and stuff like that, where it's like, oh, great. It's just I can't do anything right now unless I have like a destroy artifact card, which I fucking never do. So
you don't run.
Well, I usually sideboard it.
Yeah. I think, so like in cube drafting, artifact removal goes up in value because the artifacts are just so good.
Yeah.
You know what's nuts though? I like this choice of a card as far as bullshit goes. This card was just recently, this is an alpha card. This was from the original batch and it's been reprinted a bunch of times. And most recently, it showed back up in Dominaria where it was, I'm not kidding, a lot of like professional and the top tier people think Icy Manipulator is the best card to get in the format. Better than Mythic Rares and other things that you can open. And it's an uncommon. Because it's just so good at, like, it counters your opponent's best thing for the entire game. And it scales up with however great their card gets.
Yeah.
This tops it.
So aggravating. I hate it. I would play it though.
That cheap activation cost.
Yes,
too.
one
mana.
Ugh.
Ice may thaw, but malice never does.
That's right, my malice.
For this card.
It's this card. For
this pentagram that I'm seeing. This dodecahedron. Okay, good choice. To transition from that, my number 2 choice also has to do with artifacts.
Okay. I don't know this card.
So it has to do with artifacts. It itself is not an artifact. It lets you find one. It is Tinker, which is 2 and a blue for a sorcery. It says, as an additional cost to cast Tinker, sacrifice an artifact. Search your library for an artifact card and put that card onto the battlefield. Then shuffle your library.
Not into your hand?
Onto the battlefield.
That's bullshit.
So this card is the most emblematic. There are other cards I could put on here too that are in a similar vein. This is something that they really don't do anymore because it's so dangerous, which is it combines tutoring, searching your library for any card. This says artifact, but any card. It combines that with cheating mana. You cheat the mana cost.
Yeah.
And this makes her some of the most broken cards in the whole game. So for 3 mana, you can sacrifice a Signet, a 2 mana ramp spell that you would have played anyway, and you can get a Blightsteel Colossus. You can get a Darksteel Forge. You can get these insane broken cards that you should not be able to have on the battlefield on turn 3 or turn 2. Even.
Right. Ugh. All right.
And it falls into a similar category. My friend Troy, that I have drafted with in the cube a bunch, his favorite deck is the artifact deck, the Esper artifact deck, blue, white, black. He loves Tinker, and he loves Sphinx of the Steel Wind. Do you remember that card?
Yes, I do.
It's a big Sphinx, artifact Sphinx. It's got flying, protection from red and green. It's got lifelink. It's got vigilance. It's got first. And on turn 3, it's like, what is this game even? He always has the Tinker. He always has Sphinx of the Steel Wind. And this is like Goblin Guide in the same way where it's like he always manages to have it, except instead of a 2/2 haster, it's a 5/5 flying haste, lifelink, protection from every color, protection from my ass. Like, horrible. But I play this card too.
Of course.
That's number 2. All right, so we're now ready for your number 1 most bullshit card.
You know it. You'll know it, and you'll laugh as soon as you see it. I hate it so much. Oh, it's so awful. I hate it. So it's Winter Orb, which is an artifact. It only costs 2. God. As long as Winter Orb is untapped, players can't untap more than one land during their untap steps. So I got to experience this when I had tapped all my mana to get stuff out, and then this bullshit comes in, and then it's like, So it just basically resets the game for you if you play it right. Yes. So not only did it reset the game,
absolutely
brings
slows
it to a
complete screeching halt. She just shakes her head, scratches her head.
I hate it. It's so...
This card is it's similar to one of my favorite cards to play, which is Armageddon, Destroy All Lands. It essentially does the same thing.
Yes.
But instead of just ending the game like Armageddon does, the game goes on for another 20 turns, but the same effect happens.
Right. God, it's so aggravating, especially for someone like me who's like, I lose interest about turn 12. I remember the last last episode we talked about Magic we played in that cube draft. I remember watching you and Matt play, and I'm like, is this done already?
We
like, are we
Control.
done yet? Like, good fucking God. Somebody do something. I'm sitting here and I'm just in agony watching this game play out. So this is Winter Orb. Is agony. It's bullshit agony. I see that card and like, now I'm in red zone. Like, fuck you. How fucking dare you? I'm tapped out, you piece of shit. I hate you. It's the kind of feeling I get when I hate you.
I know that I want to punch you in the nose.
Yes. Exactly.
Fucking coward. The flavor text here is great too. It says, how could anyone survive this? There is some force at work that stifles even the will to go on.
It's exactly how I feel. Like, but the problem is I won't give up. Like, that's the thing. It's like,
always,
I will.
It's always the same.
You will
playing
have
with you
to
when
kill
something
me.
like this comes out, because you're like, oh, fuck this. I don't want to play anymore. And I'm like, you can concede, and you're like, no,
never.
I will play forever.
No. You did this to yourself and also me, and we're both going to suffer now.
Great card. Really good. I think it says a lot that your top pick is an artifact. My number 2 pick had to do with artifacts, and my number 1 pick is an artifact.
Oh, I haven't clicked it yet.
The number 1 pick,
my
number 1 most bullshit card is Soul Ring. It is 1 colorless mana for an artifact that simply has tap, add 2 colorless mana. That's it, the end. This is also an alpha card where they did know how to make balanced magic cards. Adds way more mana than a 1 mana artifact has any right to. And, okay, so this card falls into the category of the other two where it's like your opponent always has it. They always have the turn. So the 2 formats I like playing the most are Commander and Cube, where Soul Ring exists. And in Commander, it's hugely frustrating because every Commander deck basically runs Soul Ring, because why not? And when one player at the table lands the turn 1 Soul Ring, it's everybody just goes, ugh. Because that player is 2 turns ahead of everybody else for free, basically.
Right.
And it's just luck of the draw. Everybody has it. You're just playing a lottery to see who gets it. In Cube, it's bullshit too, because everybody wants this card. There's not a deck that doesn't want Soul Ring in it. So it's just, and in my opinion, it's just like the number 1 pick that goes in every deck. So I don't have it in my Cube anymore because it's not an interesting decision to me. If everybody wants it and everybody can play it, I've just removed it.
Yeah.
When I used to have it, it was the most frustrating thing in the world because you had to win the lottery to get Soul Ring, first of all, to draft it. And then you have to win the lottery again to get in your opening hand, which they always have. And they play a turn 1, and then they tap it, and they play a Signet. And now they're like 3 turns ahead of you, and you haven't got a chance to do anything yet. It's just such an overwhelmingly depressing feeling to see this land on the other side. Only positive thing about it is that occasionally they'll draw on like turn 8, and it's like, well, who cares? Even then, though.
It's pretty.
It is pretty. We're looking at the art that came out originally from the Vault Relics, I think. Yep, from the Vault Relics is when they came out with this beautiful silver ring with the light. It's on a little pedestal.
I'll put my hand in there.
Oof, put something else in there.
Wow. Kenny.
My dick.
How dare you? Look at that. Nasty. I don't want to hear about that.
All right, I'll cut it. I won't.
Ah. You're gross. You're the worst.
These are bullshit cards.
Yep. BS. Big ol' stinky BS.
We both listed a card that the other one has like played, like Goblin Guide and Winter Orb both made the cut. Okay, let's stop thinking about that. Okay. We're just getting irritated.
Yeah.
Let's think about something good. Let's think about something fun.
Oh.
You've had a bee in your bonnet. You've had a deck in mind.
What are you talking about?
And for the first time, Amber.
What?
It's time for us to enter the construction zone. Construction zone. It's a bone zone. Put your helmet on. The shit is OSHA. Bust out your lotion, son, but keep your clothes on. The shit is wholesome.
Shoop shop, shoop shop. Bzz, bzz. Hammer, hammer, hammer. Tink, 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 tink. Beep, beep, beep.
Racking up. Got a big load to dump here.
That's right.
All right, so I'll get rid of the original segment intro I invented. I'll just cut that in there.
Okay, that's fine.
So construction zone is where we are thinking about constructing a deck.
Yes.
Sometimes it'll be based on prompts that we give each other. Hopefully in the future, listeners can suggest prompts that we can build decks off of, and listeners can suggest cards as well. To start things off, though, you had a deck that you had in mind that you wanted to start building.
Yes.
And I want to hear about it.
Okay. So I love goblins. We all know this. This is a tried and true statement. Yes. It will never change.
It's true in Magic. It's true in life.
It's true, yes, through and through. I also love angels. In Magic, specifically. Only Magic. Not in any other cases. What?
Okay. Angels are cool in Wrinkle in Time.
Okay. Cool takes on angels.
Angels are cool in Digimon.
Sure. Okay. Okay, I'll give you that too. But anyway, angels specifically in Magic are creatures I absolutely love for buffing reasons. Typically, so it's like they give other anthem of yes, exactly. But also it's nice to get those, flying, like we talked about earlier. What are my favorite keywords abilities? The
haste,
vigilance, flying. What are our angels? Usually some combination of those three.
Vigilance, flying, sometimes haste. If you're a red angel,
yeah, there's not very many
red
haste
angels tend to have. Yeah. No, there are, but they almost are always red.
Right. So what I'm doing is just purely for fun, purely for my own entertainment and amusement, just to see if I can make this work. And
This is not a competitive tournament deck.
I'm not trying to make a competitive tournament deck. I'm just trying to make something silly happen. And even though I'm paying some money for it, because I'm weird, yes. I'm basically constructing me in a deck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Goblin Angels.
Yes, my modern goblin, as I put it, my modern Gobbo Angel anthem. What?
No, it's great. I like thinking of this as the Archangel of Goblins deck.
Yes, exactly. I want to be the Goblin Archangel. So, it all started because, yes, in your cube, I met Krenko and was like, my God.
And fell madly in love.
Fell so in love with him. And I'm starting to build a deck based around exponential goblin growth.
Also a good name for the deck.
Yes. And on top of that, also adding angels just to buff my little 1/1 tokens that I'll be crankoing out.
We kid on here, everybody.
It's all fun here, guys.
That's our episode. All right.
The end. Bye. We don't even talk about what's going on. So maybe in the future we should probably have some sort of Tumblr or website where we can, or I think there's places where you can build decks online and just have profiles and stuff.
Yep.
I should put shit there. So right now I just have a Google doc that has kind of what's going on right now.
We'll have that in the future for you, dear listener.
Yes. So I don't have any of my lands listed out right now because really, honestly, I don't have any. I have like one shock land, which is, what is it?
Sacred Foundry?
Yes, thank you. That I have right now. And then I just have like a couple Boros Guild Gates and then like a teetering something or other. I can't remember.
Right.
So I haven't really listed out my lands yet.
Sure.
But it's a red-white.
We'll leave that aside for now. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got, so far, the creatures I have in there, and I haven't built the full deck yet. So I have Goblin Rabble Masters, 2 of them so far. I have Krankos. I have actually, I bought 4. I've bought a full playset.
Krenko seems important enough that he might be the full playset.
Yeah, and so I have it listed as 2 right now, but I'm trying to play with it to see how it works out, and I think I'll probably make him the 4 full playset of him.
Probably.
Then I have 2 Aurelias, the war leader, who is that I talked about late.
Gives you the extra attack
just
phase.
Extra combat phase. She's
all your favorite
flying.
keywords.
Yeah, she's everything. Mwah, mwah, mwah. But unfortunately, she's only comes in foil right now. I think so because she came out. I bought her. I got her 2 foils. That's the only ones I could find. And as we all know, the foils quality shit and just are already curled.
Do you want a U-shaped card? You're in luck.
Yeah. I put my deck together and I'm like, I wonder where Aurelia's at in this fucking deck. So it can't really be a good anyway. So anyway, she's in there. I also have sorceries that pump out tokens. So we've got
goblins.
4 Krenko's Command, 4 Hordling Outbursts.
Yep.
Enchantments I have, Glorious Anthem, I have Rise of the Hobgoblins, Angelic Chorus, and Angelic Destiny. So we're starting to talk about the angels a little bit. Most of what I'm going for is you're going to be enchantments or sorceries that are angelic in nature. I haven't really decided on what other angels I can put in here yet. There's a lot out there that are like, they'll give creatures vigilance when they enter the battlefield, like, +1/+1+, and they don't tap this turn. But really, I'm looking for a more long-lasting. So another thing I have to worry about in this deck is, of course, that my exponential goblin mass, my wave of goblins, essentially, can easily be, like, finality'd or, just board wipes in general.
Raft, whatever.
And so I'm looking also for white instants that are basically counter spells or like protection or whatever. So I've got 2 Dawn Charms and 2 Rebuff the Wicked.
So this brings me to my first suggestion to you. I'm just putting it out there as something you might like. So this is Boros Charm.
Oh, yes. Have you
thought about that?
I haven't thought about it. I just know it exists.
So this is red, white, instant. Choose 1, so it's modal. Boros Charm deals 4 damage to target player or planeswalker.
Okay.
Direct damage, your favorite.
Yes.
Permanents you control gain indestructible until end of turn.
Nice.
Target creature gains double strike until end of turn.
Nice. So here's my thing.
Yep.
Here's my weird, quirk to this deck. Why would I not accept a Boros Charm into my deck? Can you guess?
I have no idea.
Is there anywhere a goblin or angel depicted in any form?
So for the flavor, it has to have that on there.
Literally, the only instance, only sorceries, any enchantments has to show some sort of goblin or some sort of angel, which is why it's like I'm being really weird, but I like this constraint because it's a pure goblin angel deck.
No, this is great.
I like
that creative constraint.
But my problem is I chose Dawn Charm, and I don't think it really vaguely works. That's
you can imagine those are angel hands.
Yeah, and it's got the angel-esque wings around it, and so that's why I allowed it in, even though it's not really.
It feels angelic.
Yes, it does. So Boros Charm shows a Minotaur and a Boros Signet. So it's but
it's not a Boros deck. It's a Goblin Angel deck.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay.
So thanks, no thanks.
So this leads... Okay, so now having that constraint in mind, let me direct your attention to Devout Invocation. It's expensive. 6 and a white for a sorcery. Tap any number of untapped creatures you control. Put a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying onto the battlefield for each creature tapped this way. I'm envisioning a battlefield of Krenkoed goblins bowing down to the heavens and angels just flooding from above.
Yes, that's so good. And there's angels in there.
Yep. Angels in the art.
Mm-hmm. And angel creature tokens.
I love a battlefield of goblins praying to the heavens and angels just flooding from above.
The flavor text, a prayer to bring demons to their knees. Goblins aren't demons.
So my next card, I'm not sure how much you want this. This is more just a card I was thinking of. Quest for the Goblin Lord.
Uh-huh.
It's an enchantment, 1 red. Whenever a goblin enters the battlefield under your control, you may put a quest counter on it. When it has 5 or more, creatures you control get +2/+0. So it's another Anthem effect.
Yes.
And with your Goblin Rabblemaster and Krenko just shitting out goblins left, right, and center, you could very rapidly pump this up. And now all your creatures, goblins and your angels, getting +2/+0.
Right.
Could be good.
Could be good.
The trouble is, I feel like this doesn't, like, basically your deck falls into, like, 3 categories. It's, like, goblins, angels that pump up the goblins, and spells that protect your stuff.
Yes.
And this doesn't really fall into any of those categories.
Well, it falls into the category of, I like the name.
Yeah.
So that's pretty great. Because, like, there's another, so I love Squee, the Immortal. Mm-hmm. He's not in my deck. Because he doesn't really do what I'm trying to do. But there is a card that is not legal for Modern, so old, called Squeeze Embrace that I liked because it's the flavor. It's like, oh, Squeeze Embrace and Squeeze Immortal. So it's a red-white enchantment. You can enchant a creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 when enchanted creature. Oh, excuse me. When enchanted creature is put into a graveyard, return that creature card to its owner's hand. So it's basically giving it a +2/+2 while it exists, but then when it gets destroyed, it's like Squee where you can just... Well, it's not even just like Squee. Squee goes into the graveyard. I think you have to pay to get him back out. Mm-hmm. But this is just... You get him right to your hand again, which I liked. So that'd be a way for me to protect Krenko.
Right.
But it's not... Also, it's by art is by Rebecca Guay, which is one of my favorite artists. And Apocalypse is not Modern legal, so I can't. No. I'm sticking to the rules of Modern as well,
right?
Using only Modern sets, yeah.
Mm-hmm. One thing I was thinking that you might like is, and you've played with before in my cube anyway, is Restoration Angel.
Yes.
3 and a white for an angel that blinks one of your creatures.
Yes. I've thought about that.
Because that could be a really nice tool for you to hold up. Like, you're trying to protect Krenko. You hold up that mana. They launch a destroy spell. Blink it.
Yep.
You still get to keep the Krenko.
Yep.
Resto stays out there. So that could be a choice.
Which I was so proud of myself for figuring that out when I played against you.
Yes.
It's like, oh, I can be smart. Look at me being smart. I'm so happy for me.
It was good. It was great. I have other cards here, but I don't know. I don't really want to get into them. The one thing that I would say, because you like these Anthem effects, obviously.
Yes.
I'm of a mind that you should replace the actual Glorious Anthem with some kind of goblin that gives all goblins +1/+1.
Yeah.
Because it basically does the same thing that Glorious Anthem does, but it's also a creature.
I get that too, but it's like the same time I also have angels. So it's like I would still want to take the +1/+1 on an angel. Plus, if I'm pumping out using Angelic Destiny, and I'm basically turning goblins into angels, I would take a 5/5 fucking flyer. But if I mutate them into these or morph them into angels, which I like to just imagine they die on the battlefield and then they ascend into angelhood. They wouldn't get the +1/+1 for being a goblin. They would. So that's why I like Glorious Anthem.
is that important enough to you? Because
yes, because like the thing is, Kenny, you ask a question, I will give you an answer. So, so it is important to me because I also like the aspect, like I just said, where I'm making these awful goblins and they're becoming something glorious, turning into a beautiful butterfly, and I want to unleash holy terror upon my player or my opponent, and you have a glorious anthem out there with now you have like 6/5/5 flyers.
Right.
That's disgusting. 6/5/5 flyers. That's disgusting. Ugh, it's so beautiful.
I agree with you. My only thinking there is that having 6/5/5 flyers is sick. Having 6/4/4 flyers, pretty much equally sick.
No. 5/5. 5 is a bigger number than 4.
Per 5.
Put 5 in there, bitch. Get 2 glorious ones out there. Fucking 6/6 flyers, baby.
I got one more card to recommend.
Okay. What is it?
So you've got Goblin Rabblemaster. This one you'll have to look up because I only thought of it before we started recording.
Gotcha.
Look up Legion War Boss.
Oh, yes, I know that guy.
So he's basically Goblin Rabblemaster, but he has Mentor.
Yes.
Your favorite thing ever.
I'm not putting Mentor in this deck.
No Mentor?
I don't want to keep track of all of it.
But you like Mentor.
I do, but not when it's like the whole goal is to put 400 goblins out there. I have to keep track of like 400 fucking goblins and do math.
Just get some dice.
You know what? It's just too many layers. It's too many layers.
Let your opponent do the math. You can just swing. And they're like, what are your creatures? I don't know. You figure it out.
Wow. No.
I'm so shocked at this response. I thought this would be like the ultimate Amber card. Mentor Goblin that creates goblins.
Do you know what this deck is? Do you understand the amount of math that would go into it? I'm sorry. Like, let's not add another layer of complication.
It's so ridiculous. Okay, so this has been Construction Zone. I've made about 20 recommendations. I think one has been considered.
I don't remember what it is.
Restoration Angel.
And Devout
Invocation. 2. You know what? I'll take it.
You should. Because it's all you're going to get.
I'll take it all the way to the bank. So that is your Archangel of Goblins deck.
I did a playtest already.
How did that go for you?
Pretty fucking good. I sent you snaps of it. Like turn...
I'm playing for the...
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just telling them no that we talk about fucking magic, Kenny. Can they not know that we talk about magic?
Yeah, they should know
In my spare time, I send you pictures of magic cards.
It's
okay,
true.
So anyway, I think I sent you a snap where it was like by turn 2 I had 4 goblins out or 4 or 5, and then by turn 3 it was like 6 or 7. And at that time I sent a snap, one of my goblins was killed. So it was like I would have had like 7 out there. It was just
my opponent kept doing stuff.
Yeah, fuck them. Opponent. So yeah, it felt good.
Felt good to get a lot of goblins out there.
So the filler stuff that I'm putting in right now is just like Raging Goblin and like those one hasters, one
Just
haste.
Regular old goblins.
Yep, just having a good time, dying, throwing themselves into the grinder.
I thought about like Warren Instigator and stuff like that. You don't want to mess with that though.
No.
Have the in your playtest so far, have the angels been relevant at all? Have they come out?
I got Aurelia out. No. Well, see, the thing is, like, by the time I got to turn 4 or 5, which a lot of the angels are heavy cost, you know, it's usually like 2 white and 3 colorless or whatever.
Or
more. Like, by the time that happened, there were so many goblins that basically I got concedes from opponent.
Right. That's what I can imagine being sort of the playtest issue with this deck, is that the angels are kind of superfluous.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. That's why I'm gonna have to figure out if it ends up becoming just all enchantment, like all enchantment based angel stuff.
Right. Or like I can imagine like because Resto Angel is only 4 mana and can save Krenko. That might be worth the inclusion.
I I don't know. We'll see as I'm playtesting. I'm not buying any more cards right now. I'm just trying to see how it goes. But because it's so aggro, it's like really it's so fast. Like it's just I don't get the enchantment out in time, or I don't get. I mean, I'll get the sorceries done, like because God, did we talk about how cheap the fucking Hordling Outburst is? It's like 3
mana for 3 goblins.
God, it's disgusting. I also have Goblin Gathering in my deck to a full play set, which is like basically for every. So the thing is that you make 2. It makes 2 base Goblin tokens, 1/1, but plus 1 for every Goblin Gathering card that you have in your graveyard.
Oh, right.
So basically, you play 1 Goblin Gathering, you only get 2. Play a second one, you're going to get 3. Play the third one, 4, and so on. It ramps, yeah. So I have those in there too. And so it's like, do I even really need the angels other than just for flavor? You know, splashing the enchantment and some sorcery.
I think it's about finding the right angels that complement what you have going on.
Mm-hmm.
Protecting Krenko, priority number 1.
Yeah, restoration. And then Aurelia is definitely like my big, like...
finisher.
Yeah. She's expensive as fuck.
Money-wise?
She's 6.
Oh, I see. Mana-wise.
Mana-wise. So that's another thing, too. I have to balance out the mana curve right now. It's kind of not great.
That's the other thing. I know there are other angels that have Anthem effects that I think are cheaper.
Yes, there are. And I have them kind of next to my deck trying to figure out who needs to go in and what makes more sense.
As much fun as Aurelia is, it might be... I mean, and maybe you're just like, hey, I don't care if there's a more optimal thing. This is... I love this card.
I do. I said I don't like that it's foiled and curved.
There's got to be some place you can get it non-foil.
Maybe. Listeners need to correct us, because I'm sure by now they've listened to 6 or 7 episodes. They're probably like, God, they don't know what they got these all wrong.
Okay. We're doing a good job.
Are we? I think I said risk factor one time was stupid card or something.
Did it off the top of our head. When we're talking about these cards in our decks, we know what we're talking about. We got it exactly right. And
whatever.
We'll never be wrong. That's the beauty of podcasting. If somebody wants to challenge me, I can just go back and edit the old episode.
Wow, I don't think that's awful. Revisionist history. You gotta own your mistakes. I don't like you.
I would if I had any. That's our episode.
I gotta go now.
Well, that's convenient because we're done.
Good.
I'm done with you. You can find us. You can email us at redmagebluemage@geekspective.com. On Twitter, we're at redbluemtg. On Twitter, I am at Wolfmere, and she is.
It's Rocket Orca, yeah. There's no yeah. There's no yeah on that. It's just Rocket Orca. So don't look up Rocket Orca, yeah, because that doesn't exist. Or it might exist. I don't know.
Maybe one of our listeners has it already now.
God, it's not even released yet.
So much they're looking forward to it. Okay, that's end of turn. I'm representing Counterspell.
I've got the bolts.
See you guys next time. Bye.